Am I posting another Gravifyer update? This is kind of it, guys, until I get to that final stage. I'll remark a little bit about it, but I'm kind of in the end times of it. I did a video today to show you how the Bendini part had worked with the magnet, but one of the next stages of this is showing the progress. So I'm not ready to do that yet, but I'm real close. So it's not going to anybody, by the way. I'll get it and I'll show it, and that's it. And then I'll give all the hot behind the scenes stuff to all the team members, and they can make a video about it wherever they want. But that's kind of where it is. You know what I mean? I want this thing to come to a point where I no longer get the comment about strings, and I should have thicker skin than this, but when you get hundreds of them, it drives me nuts. Okay? It's not working that way. It's somebody just watching 2 seconds of a video and I just have to make that comment. And I'm trying to just show you the science behind it. So I'm just going to just do it. And then, it is what it is. And then hopefully I left enough information out there for you guys. I think I did. I think with everything I keep showing it, I'm trying to just clear out those rough edges of this stuff. And then you'll see it. It'll all make sense. And then, we'll probably do some lives and talk about it a little bit and kind of go over it. That's kind of where I'm going with this. So, let's see what we got going on. What do we have? The swamp will be drained. Yeah. I'm not in an echo chamber here, guys. I'm letting everybody else get in on the deal. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Yeah. You know what, guys? We have to put it out this way. Sorry, I lost my hearing aid. Blew it up. Anyway, thing go in my ears that usually don't. Kind of freaks me out. But anyway, what does it say? I'm going to record your info Nathan in my book. Yeah, do it. Do it all you want, man. It's all out there for free. Look, guys, please never misunderstand my channel. Take it. Take it all. I have Creative Commons, guys. I'm not hiding it. Okay? You want to comment on it? Hey, drop me a line. Tell me you commented on it. Okay? You got something more to add to it that maybe I should have added to it? Do it. Tell me about it. Let me watch it. I love to watch it. Critique it. I mean, if you got the knowledge, man, show it. That's kind of what this is. I really just don't care. Take it. It's on the internet. You're going to rip it anyway. You know what I mean? Go for it. But let's have a conversation about it. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I think Gerald wants the same thing. Just tell me what it is. And we are golden. Okay? That's it. You know what I mean? Because there's some things I may miss. You know what I mean? Some things that we could do in another project. There's things that we could build on for solid state. I mean, that's going to be cool. This project, oh my God, dude. Well, all these moving parts, they're unnecessary. They are completely unnecessary. Okay? I'm losing my hair as it is. I think I lost more of it. Okay? So much unnecessary things. It should be so much simpler. Okay? It's like building it before the computer age came along. You know what I mean? Before we had transistors that worked. Even at that, some of them are junk, and I'd rather have part mechanical when it comes to some of that. But regardless of that, we could do it in solid state. Gerald's doing it already. You know what I mean? It's like two different worlds. I'm in the Flintstone age with the one I'm doing, and here he is in beyond the computer age of doing it. Okay, it's like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, man. It's a trip, but all the same part. They do the same thing. You know what I mean? It's a difference in understanding, man. I'd rather be in the Jetsons mobile than over here with my feet hurting all day. So, Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Gerald says me too. Just give it away. The more people that replicate this, guys, then it's going to stay out there. I think that's where Gerald and I are going with it. We're okay with the information getting out there. We're all good with it. As long as you use it for productive purposes to help society, we're good. You start using it for something else, man, you ain't gonna be part of what we're doing. That's for sure. So we only want things that are constructive for everybody else. Like I said, we'd all like to hop on that UFO and go somewhere. So let's build it. Yeah, build it big enough for everybody and let's all have some fun. And then when we're done, we'll give it back to the scientists and let them roam the galaxy and tell us all the mistakes they made about how the planets are actually built. That would be fun. I would watch that all day. But I think even at their perspective, they would love to travel everything and say, you know what? I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad I found out the right answer. And I think that benefit us all. And I could be done. And everybody else would take on the mantle from there and build it out. That's what I want. Yeah, Sean's in on that. It's all right. Gerald's a great guy. Great guy. Oh, Obama would steal it. Oh, that's hilarious. Obama. Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. Ruined your rep. He said put his saddle on it. Oh, like that guy riding that missile or the rocket. Remember that old time movie? The guy's riding it all the way in. That's hilarious. I had a buddy. Check this out. We had a propane tank here at the house. Okay, and I took my 4x and I'm gonna pull this thing out. Okay, so what does he do? He goes and straddles this thing. Okay, and holds on like he's riding a horse. Okay, here we are with this propane tank. And I hope it's empty, okay? But at any time, we could hit a rock, we could hit a pole, we could hit something else, man. He got blew up from the, downtown region first. And that can't be good. But, man, it was just hilarious. I had to stop the truck and just get out and laugh, okay? I mean, something that absurd. You can't help it. Okay, sometimes you just got to bow to the absurd, just like Picard said, man. That's what you got to do because someone riding a propane tank going like this, man, it's just something else. Oh, man, I think I have too much fun sometimes in my life. Oh, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I, I couldn't believe that, bro. Oh, tubes have a natural harmonic frequency, okay? Exactly like nature. They give us duplicate his work. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Well, we got some more coordinates here. You know what? I don't know how to pull that up. I was kind of hoping, Crypto would jump in. I think he tried, but I like him to pull those up, man. I love those shows, by the way, when he does them and he starts looking at different things and seeing faces in the rocks and stuff. Dude, I'm all about that. Okay. I love anything like that. Anytime that you can understand something out of something else, it's so cool. So, one of the things I always say, look at that like it was underwater. All these places don't make sense unless it's underwater. You start looking at the pebbles on top of each other, it probably was a vent underwater. We see them all the time. You see the holes on the side of the mountains? That's where fish go. Fish go to breed in there, things like that. Kind of like when you go out catching those big catfish and you got to reach in that hole and grab them. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. I have. There's a scary experience. Put your hand in there. You don't know what's going to grab you back, but you grab that fish right out of that hole, man. Done that. So Anyway, it just kind of gives you a different perspective on things. When you look at it underwater, it makes sense. All the ridge tops make sense of civilization. It also makes sense in the world. We're going to the age of Aquarius, therefore more water's at the core. Okay, and it's going to come out. We're going to end up with the shoreline getting less and less at some point. Maybe not in our lifetime. You know, world works on a different scale than we do. So eventually it's going to get that way. It's probably why we all want to build something to get off the planet. You know, we don't want to be part of that. Could be why they built pyramids, so they can push that stuff back in. Who knows? You know, we'll figure it all out in time. But I love those videos, man. I love watching them. And where scientists say, that's not a wall, that's natural. Yet it's completely a wall. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? Dude, not even close. So, yeah, love those things, man. Totally cool. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to put that up there. Yeah. Dude, you've seen a lot of them. Just looking mountains, I guess. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. I'm reading some of the comments. I don't know that I should say them on the air. Okay. Let's just say it that way. But I enjoy them. Okay. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. You just leave my name out of it when we're all done. I don't need any of that. You just leave me out of it. The old man on the YouTube once in a while said something. You know what I mean? Those who know will know, and those who don't. And whatever guy takes your idea, you'll get all the credit. And whatever, I'm okay with it, man. As long as my kids and my grandkids have something better than I do, I'm there. Get out of this whole stupid thing that we do around this world and fight with each other. Get rid of all that. And it makes my kids' lives better. Yeah, I'm there. You know what I mean? You take all the credit you want. Just make that happen. Human nature does not like a good idea. Well, if they can make money on it, if they made the money on it, they'd probably like it. That's how this world's working lately. If they can make a ton of money on it, they like your good ideas. If it costs something that costs them money, they don't like it. So that's what I've been seeing anyway. If they can make a few extra dollars, yeah, they like your idea. As soon as they can't, well, they don't. Anything contradicts the order. I mean, look, let's be honest with you. If they sold water for your car, you'd still go to the gas station and buy it, wouldn't you? When we're not all going to the ocean, you're going to get a couple people to go to the ocean and fill their own car, but the rest of us just want convenience. Okay, my wife ain't stopping by the ocean to fill up her car. She just go over to the water station, I guess is what they call it then. We ain't getting out of this. That's not the way it works. We're not all of a sudden going to live in some utopia. But if it's cleaner and it's nicer and we live longer, I can live with that. I can live with that. So, yeah, it makes you kind of wonder, if society lived with the earth instead of against it, would there be any trace of it? Probably wouldn't be. You know what I mean? If they live with the earth, where's the traces? There's traces of it everywhere because we live against it right now. We live against this planet and we're ruining it. And there's traces of us all over the place. But if you live with it, would there really be much of a trace? Probably not. You know what I mean? You probably wouldn't need it. You know what I mean? Do you need all these devices to lift a rock if you know how to lift it with frequency? Nope. You don't need nothing. You'll be the monks. All you're going to do is go out and blow your horns and, you know what I mean? Do your thing, and that rock's going to lift right up to that cliff face, and you're good. You really don't need the rest. I mean, that's probably the most glaring example of we overdo everything of something simple. Yeah, the pyramids, they left it for us. They absolutely left it for us. Yeah, harmony with nature, man. Yeah. You guys ever see that Star Trek show movie Insurrection? I think it was what the one it was where they went to this planet in the middle of this clouded area, and it's like in perfect harmony with nature. God, that's me right there. Let me go out. You know what I mean? I'll plow the field or whatever I have to do. Want to be harmony with nature. That's me right there, man. I go there every day, live a long life. You know what I mean? No morons there. You got to kick them off the planet, give them a ship, and get them out. You know what I mean? Tell them to go somewhere else and just live in harmony. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. It's been almost 3 hours. I'm going to end this stream. Guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched it and everything. Unless crypto comes on soon, you know what I mean? We'll give it like 10 minutes because I want to know what those coordinates are. You know what I mean? If he comes on and wants to pull them up. But I'll go ahead and check something out real quick. We'll give him a little time, see if he comes on. So let's look at something else. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play this just for a minute, and then I'll find something else for us, and we'll see if crypto comes on. But also, guys, if you're out there, Gerald and Ben, if you wanted to come on and say something, you're more than welcome to. So let's.
Here's the frequency. See that?
Volume's up.
As we lower the frequency, we get a raise in amps. There we go. Higher the frequency, lower amps, right? More volts. Yep, and a different style of discharge. You can see it's not super happy with that. It's kind of, right? Come back down a little. All right. And look at that. We're back up to almost 8 amps. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Before I play the original video, I wanted to give you a close-up look at the circuit that he is putting in his. This is for his high voltage. He has a video on his channel that explains exactly what this circuit is. So if you want to see that, check it out on his channel. Make sure you subscribe to him. Anyway, here we go, guys. Here's the original video about the high voltage. We're going to talk about some high voltage. Now, this is going to be a little confusing in the beginning, but we're going to get through it. Just understand this. What you think you know about high voltage is going to change today. So, is high voltage just amps and volts? The answer is no. Is it amps, volts, and frequency? No. There are several different factors that go into this. Some are the action that you put in. Some are the reaction you get when you put something in. Let me explain. Standard circuit. We take a 24-volt power pack. We run that into a ZVS driver. We run that onto a flyback transformer, DC flyback transformer. Then we can set up the two wires, the ground wire and the positive wire, and we can get voltage across it. Now, if I put in there 12 volts, and I put in there 3 amps, I'm going to get a predictable response. What you're not knowing is that you actually just put a frequency in based on your voltage in amps. Now, can you change that frequency? Most commonly, people will tell you no, but the actual answer is yes. All you have to do is add 2 more parts. So on your voltage end, when you get your 24-volt power pack here and you get your ZVS, all you have to put is a divider circuit in there. All it does is let the volts go through, but it's going to add a low end to it, which is going to be 5 volts. In that 5 volts, you add frequency and duty cycle. Now, here's the thing. When you add the frequency into it, is it going to change the MOSFETs in what they're doing? And they're switching on and off, on and off. No, it's not. It's actually going to leave that alone. It's going to run frequency over top everything else, And what is that frequency going to do? It's going to change the voltage and amperage and how they work. So as I bring the frequency up, it's going to bring the amount of amps down. You say, but I have a set amount going in. It won't matter. It's actually going to bring them down. When you see the actual voltage cross, there's going to be a part in there that's white. That's how many amps you have in your circuit. As you raise your frequency up, the amount of white goes away, the amount of purple comes out better, and it thins out real heavily. So, what's going on there? By changing the frequency, you've now changed the amps. I've also changed the amount of heat that's coming through that circuit. It no longer, because the amps are less, has as much heat. As you can see, it changed it. Now, what did it also change? I changed the ability of that spark itself to be able to be airborne. Now it can be able to put a charge in the air, where with more amps, it won't allow it to do that. It'll keep that charge close to the surface. So what does that mean? When I get it to go further out, I put a charge on it. When I get it to go in closer, I change the magnetism on it. Now, that's a good understanding of how things are going, but just understand this. For one change, I had an effect on 3 to 4 different things in this. So, is it just voltage and amps? The answer is no. So let's do this again. We now want to add a duty cycle. Again, we're not changing the ZVS. The MOSFETs are still going to go on and off just where they are. But what does the duty cycle do? It goes over top that and adds a beat frequency. Now the beat frequency itself is going to control exactly how fast this comes out between the spark gap. It'll change it between going really fast when you turn up the duty cycle and then going out and extinguishing the actual spark gap when you go down lower. Again, it's changing it. But every time you change the beat frequency in this, it's also changing the amount of amps that go in. You're changing the amount of volts that go in. You're changing the frequency in it. You're also changing how much magnetism is in it. That also changes the amount of charge something has. Now, when you change the frequency of this, you're also going to be able to change the sound. Guys, it's no longer just volts and amps. You have to account for everything when you start building high voltage this way. The master circuit is very simple. This is what I use in order to manipulate everything the way I want it, to change everything to something totally different that's coming out. If I just want a circuit that does charge, if I just want a circuit that gives me more magnetism, if I just want a circuit that has more sparky voltage, okay, then I can do all of those things. Here's a circuit. We're going to start off on the low end. We're going to have a 555 timer that controls duty cycle. It's also going to control frequency. Do you have to put in a set frequency, or can you just hook your iPhone up to it and connect it and get it to play music? Yeah, you can. But the simplest thing is stick with a small little circuit. They're about $8 on Amazon. You get 3 or 4 of them. They work great. I'll leave the link in the description. Now, the next thing you're going to have is a high-low. So you're going to want to have something in there that allows your voltage to go up and down at the rate you want it to, but it has the low end so that you get the frequency in it. That right there is very simple. They're about $5 on Amazon. You can get one that has higher voltage in it so you can go higher if you want. Not a problem. The next part is just a standard ZVS. Use the one that you like best. That's the way I say it. The lower the wattage on it, the actual better the frequency comes through. Now, one thing I didn't mention is you're going to need some resistance in this circuit. So between your low end and your high end, you're going to want to run on the positive side a resistor in there. 20K ohms is what I usually do. You can go less, you can go without it. It all depends on how it works in the circuit and what you're trying to create. So that's kind of an option in there. So I don't generally put it in the main circuit. It's an addition to the circuit. Now, once you get to the ZVS, all you do is wrap your wire around that coil right there on the flyback. Now, why do I always just call it a pulse magnetic pulse, because that's basically what you're doing. And I don't care what driver you want to use to one of these things, as long as you have some kind of a magnetic pulse that goes in. You can use your Wilmhurst, you can use, your Van de Graaff. If you can get it to magnetically pulse, you can run that ZVS. So you get it in there, you run the ZVS, you find which one's your negative, which is the one that sparks over most. You put them into a spark gap. Guys, all right, guys, it just said put it in your ZVS. I'm sorry about that, into your flyback. So basically, you can run anything with a pulse magnetic frequency to it to your flyback, and it'll work. It's as simple as it gets. It doesn't matter what driver you use, as long as it's pulse magnetics, you're good. You can connect your Wilmhurst if you want.
We had somebody chat in that said the ZVS wasn't necessary. Explain why it actually is.
It isn't necessary if you use them offset.
Oh, so if you substitute it with the MOSFET, it isn't necessary. But the ZVS you're using because it's more efficient or more effective?
It was just cheap. I'm actually switching back to a MOSFET.
Okay. So the MOSFET's probably you saying the MOSFET might be the better option?
MOSFET or a transistor, they're interchangeable. You know what I mean? If you understand how to open the gate,
right?
They're pretty much the same thing. Okay. The only thing that you really need to do, it'll bring out the frequency a lot easier with one single transistor.
Okay, that clarifies it.
Yeah, it makes a cleaner signal. So all the rest of it's unnecessary. It's just you have to worry about the diodes in it so that you don't blow something up. Okay.
Right.
Because ultimately you're creating heat. No matter what you do, as soon as you go to create that magnetic field, you're creating heat in that coil that goes on the flyback.
Right.
Okay? So now you got to change your winding. So usually I use 7. I might go down to 2. Okay. If I'm just using a transistor, because you don't want to blow it up. You know what I mean? You don't want that heat to come back on you.
We were talking about that last night. Like, we need a transistor that's capable of taking the heat.
Now you could get one that has. Here's the trick to those things. Okay, you could get one that has a lot of amps, right? Say it has 20 amps, but they're taking away the volts when you get there. Ultimately, no matter what they say on the package, they all fail over a certain heat level, and it won't matter what you're putting in. The heat level is the most important thing on that. The faster it cools down, the more you can run anything you want.
So what you're saying is the only way to tell the limit is to fry it and find out.
Yeah. Basically, if you can't keep that heat at about 120, or less, you're frying it. As soon as you go over that, it's done.
We're talking about Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah, I think maybe Celsius. I'm not sure.
Or Celsius. Okay. Celsius is what, roughly?
No, Fahrenheit. We're talking Fahrenheit. 120 on Fahrenheit. You go up to 130, you're pushing it, but generally everything's blown at that point. And because it comes back on you and it triggers, sometimes it'll trigger in amps, sometimes it'll trigger in volts, it'll fry it right away.
And then it won't open that gate on time or with the timing that you need it, right?
Oh, it won't do anything. It'll be dead. It immediately fries it. Look, you're dealing with, like, for lack of a better term, and I know there's a better way to describe it, basically a piece of paper with drops on it, and those drops are contacting each other, and that's it. And then it's just encased in a shell.
I heard that sometimes transistors can fail, like half fail, like they'll fail but not completely fry out. Does that happen sometimes where they just malfunction, but they're still appearing to take in electricity or something?
Think of it this way. If I took a bunch of wire strands, right? And all the wire strands are like this. If I remove part of them, they're still connected technically. Okay. But the rest there's no ability to gain more out of it. It's limited by what I can put it through.
Right.
That's what it means. That's when they're half working.
Okay, I gotcha. The throughput is like half what it should be or whatever.
Yeah. It's just not going to give you the full amount that you want.
Right. It's like pushing a golf ball through a garden hose.
That's right.
Okay. I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, you're trying to empty the dam with the king toes. It's just not.
No,
not
every
worth.
time I go back to electricity, I get confused. I try to go back to the water analogy and just picturing it in my head, in like a vessel, like AC sloshing back and forth.
I stay away from AC, man. It burns things up too quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really, you just explode everything. I explode enough with DC.
So AC really is just good for like long distance transmission, right? Yeah.
I don't even think that's AC. I think that's more of a potential than AC in long distance transmission. And to be honest with you, AC would be very ineffective at long distance because you got to think about it. The way Morin explains it, you have an amp, and either the voltage is chasing the amp or the amp is chasing the voltage. Either way, it's got to have push through the line, and then the rest of it stays around it. Okay.
Right. Most of the energy is circulating the conductor.
Yeah. So if you put AC in there, you're inside the wire, which means at some point it's going to be too hot, which AC is a really hot voltage. That's why your breakers break all the time when you turn on your air conditioner. Okay. Or it does to me in my garage. Anyway.
That's why you're saying focus on the voltage or the potential of circulating the current, because it has no resistance or heat that's accumulating.
It's very little heat.
Very little.
Because you're in milliamps. So
right.
That's why they put those swinging things on your high voltage lines. And they don't want it to swing because they don't want the energy to come off of the wire.
Oh.
That's what it is. Because they know where it's at. They know they're putting more potential in than
they're focused on the energy going through the conductor, whereas you're focused on the potential going around the conductor.
Yeah, but they do the same thing. They triple spark gap it and send it out to you as potential. So when they say AC, is it really? Because AC wouldn't do well on high voltage lines.
So you think it's like they're just misunderstanding it? Or
potential.
There's a disconnect in academia,
No. Potential kill you the same way as AC, so you're better off understanding it as AC to know it kill you. Okay? But the true understanding is it can't work that well in AC. There's too much heat in the line.
Yeah, too much resistance from the conductor.
And a bird wouldn't live if you put them on an AC line, by the way.
Right.
If I put it on an AC line, kept it bare, and turned it on, any bird that landed on it would be dead. And how many millions of volts are they putting through that AC line that they say that's up there? So it cannot be standard AC. It has to be very low amp AC.
And they're just calling it AC.
Yeah, it has to be more of a potential. That way it goes over the bird.
And that's where the miscommunication and the confusion in my part comes in, because I'm, sometimes researching this stuff and I see, power lines are classified as AC, and then that sticks in my head. And then, we're researching all this, unique esoteric science that kind of contradicts some of it.
Well, they know all about it. Dude, no. What you got to understand is Tesla invented it. Steinmetz removed all of the stuff that was potential to put it in a pure form of AC.
Well, I'm saying, like you said the other day with the guy interviewing Bendini, most people just don't understand it like that, though.
No, if I was in that room with Bendini, man, we'd have just a totally awesome
dude.
chat.
I wish that would have happened. We had like an awesome opportunity like that, but we'll have some great people on. Sure. We have Sean on today, which I'm really excited for. So,
dude, yeah, that's going to be
awesome.
That's
going to be really cool.
Dude, you get to see what I see. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to go through the practical guide of free energy devices handbook and see if there's anything relevant to the topic today. We're discussing Tesla coils, right?
Yeah. You're better off just listening to Sean. He does a very good job of explaining it. Okay. He'll get it out. You'll be just fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, as much as I try to prepare questions, honestly, sometimes my questions come better off the cuff.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You know what? We'll just let Sean get it out because.
Yeah. Just let him present whatever he's got to present. And
nobody knows it better. I'll just tell it to you that way. I am a novice compared to him when it comes to a Tesla call. Okay. Let's just put it that way. He's got some wild stuff that goes on. Okay, like if you looked at this stuff in his 3D prints, man, and you start to like zoom in on it, wow. Okay, just wow. And the way he's building the voltage, man, totally insane. Because it's not just one winding around the coil, you know what I mean? Where it's like sliced off. Dude, there's layers of it.
Yeah, and he's weaving it in and out, isn't he?
I don't know that he's weaving it. Okay, I don't think he's doing what Gerald's
I
doing.
thought one of his coil he was weaving it, but I might have been mistaken on that. But yeah, no, his winding patterns are very unique. I know that.
Yeah, it's built up like a flyback. So it's multiple windings in one area, then he goes to the next level, and then multiple windings the next, and then you know what I mean, as you go up. So it's built just like an AC flyback. Okay, but then he starts making, balls out of it, and you're like, what? How did you figure out how to do a ball? Like, where did that come from? I mean,
yeah, the Death Star
seriously.
test. Yeah, that was crazy. And
Yeah.
the arcs that it produced, like, wow.
Oh my God, dude. I'm just like, I'm scratching my head here. And usually I respond right away, and I don't know what to make of it. You know what I mean? Like, how does this work?
I'm still hung up on the handheld Tesla coil. In the demo, he just put it up to that little, what was that, circuit board or whatever?
Yeah.
And you can clearly see the return of energy and the loop that it produces and the path that it wants to take. It's so cool. Like, there's no clear like visual that you would need, I think, like studying some of this as like an amateur. Like for me, that painted a great picture in my head, and I was mind blown with that. They should do that in every class.
Look,
show you.
Check this out, man. It's low voltage, so well, in a Tesla coil term, you put it near your coil and see what happens. See, it's a great tool when you have a coil like yours, because now you could test each line with it. You could go and put it in different areas of your circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of field can you produce around it?
Yeah, you can direct it.
Things. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, you're right. Because the Tesla coils, that the one that I have is stationary. You can't really do anything with it. You have to leave it where it is. And it's not really meant for that,
Yeah. It's kind of like a tester Tesla coil that you can move around. And
yeah, I burned myself trying to mess with it. Boom.
Yeah. Knowing you'd have some gloves on to stop that. I know Sean wears gloves all the time. I haven't figured that part out yet.
What kind of material gloves do you use for that?
You'll have to ask Sean. He'll probably show them to you later in the live, or have it. Give you a description. But they look like they stick to your hand pretty good. They're not those big bulky ones.
Oh, not the big oven mitts, the like tight latex maybe type ones.
Yeah, kind of like that, but they look like they have a little bit of thickness to them.
Oh, so, I think I know. I think I grabbed a pair of those. They're kind of like a thick insulated. No, yeah, I think I might have a pair of those.
Yeah, Sean said to send me a link. I'll pull that up. If you send it to my Facebook, and I'll pull it up before the show, and we'll take a look. Yeah, I probably should buy some of those. I just don't like things being on my fingers. They're fat enough. You know what I mean?
It's hard to
intricate things.
No, when I was building my rodent coil, I had to use the gloves, but it was, it was tempting to take them off because it's hard. It's hard to work with, the small wires and stuff and get them to where you want to go. And also the gloves, they're kind of sticky to the wire, so it's not like you're using your regular skin and you can kind of get a good grip on it. It's a different kind of grip. It sticks a little bit too much.
To these wires.
But yeah, no, building the rodent coil was it wasn't hard, but it was difficult and challenging with the gloves for sure.
Yeah, dude, totally gonna be cool tonight. So I'm excited, man. I'm so excited. I'm more excited for Sean because we've been talking back and forth, man, and he said, all right, he wanted to do it after a couple people went on. He saw what it was like, and I just hope he opens the channel. You know what I mean? We can get him a lot of subscribers quick because
for sure.
He puts out a lot of small videos right now. He's got a lot, right?
Mhm.
and perfect for all those YouTube shorts. Okay. Very short.
Yeah, no,
easy.
it's a missed opportunity, and you're Sean, by not putting out this stuff, you're depriving us of so much gold, you know? Yeah, so until then, we're gonna hold you accountable for that.
No, he's good, man. He's doing
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
I'm just saying. I recommend that anybody who has anything interesting or important to talk about, even just start a YouTube channel. It's fun. It's interesting. It gives you something to do, you know. And if you have something important, you know, there's no better way to get it out there.
Yeah. Well, especially because, you know, you come here, you get the floor. You know what I mean? You get to talk about whatever you got, and then we all get to pick you apart a little bit and find out what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just
pick
kind of
your
cool.
brain.
Yeah. So it's not one of those environments where we're trying to grill you. We're just trying to find out.
Right. We've had some amazing people on and have some amazing presentations that I've seen. I wouldn't be able to see anywhere else, honestly.
Well, they don't have them out there.
Yeah.
They usually
Well, that's
just
why we're providing a platform for them, and I love that about this podcast that we started on Monday. You know, it provides a platform for all these, you know, inventors, and you know, sometimes we got to give them a little push, but but you
yeah.
know, like that's with, you know, a lot of us. I had to get a little push to do this, so
Yeah, well, some of the people, man, they get beat down on YouTube, and
yeah.
it's really kind of tough because you have this great invention, and then everybody thinks they know better than you, but they're not in the room with you.
Right. And everything's so contentious, you know, like I just want a space where we all can actually get together and think about something, you know, and not fight.
Oh, there's a little bit of fighting going on, but we all love each
No,
other
we don't
in the
always
end.
agree. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
always agree, but yeah,
well, I'll
it is what
figure
it
it
is.
out. Just
Yeah,
take
we'll
some
figure it
time.
out.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, you know, like we all have our own unique theories and perspectives, but when we come together and bring them together is when something really magical happens, you know?
yeah, and that's what I love about the Monday show. You know what I mean? We can show our own videos and talk about them a little bit on a live chat, but
Mhm.
really, it's all about the inventor that day. That's
Yeah, no, it's
really what it
super
is.
exciting to see all the new inventors and inventions that, like, you know, like I said, you don't get to see anywhere else, you know, because we're searching for the people that don't get the opportunity to, you know, get a platform like this.
That's right. Yeah, I'll say it again, guys, in case you guys weren't here earlier. If you wanted to come on, if you wanted to be part of it, just let us know. I got my
Mhm.
email attached to my channel. Just email me. You know what I mean? We'll see what you got going on. It looks interesting. We'll all get into it. That's
Mhm.
just it. You know what I mean? It's not hard. Just let us know. Some people got some stuff hiding. That's the ones I love. Like Ian was hiding his stuff. Okay. He sent
Don't
me
be hiding
emails.
it now.
Yeah,
Don't be shy.
yeah, he sent me emails and told me what's going on. And I'm like, dude, everybody's got to see this. Okay. And
Yeah.
Sean did it to me too. He goes, oh, you want to build Tesla coil? Okay. I'm thinking, does he really have a Tesla coil over there? Right. And then
Mhm.
as soon as he showed it to me, I'm like, I feel like the stupidest guy in the room. I'm putting on my little hat with a propeller on it. You know what I mean? I'm
But
going back to
yeah,
school.
we understand if there's certain parts that you can't disclose, you know, like if you're under NDA, like Mike K from Faraday Research, but anything you are excited about or enthusiastic about, we're enthusiastic about, you know, we're all down to learn. So
Yeah, nobody gets embarrassed here, man. You got to get in with the flow, though. You know what I mean? If you're able to laugh at yourself a little bit, we're good. You know what I mean? Because Gerald gets on here and has no filter sometimes, and it says Bog Irish, and he's doing Irish voices, no filter. But that's what you gotta love because we all have a fun time with that one.
Yeah, you
Oh
never know what's gonna go down.
yeah, we're all gonna find a way to make a good time, but we want to know the information as well. I think that's what the best part is. Anyway,
Yeah,
how
it's like,
about go
yeah,
ahead?
I was saying it's like uncovering treasure, really.
No, it is. It definitely is. Hey Ben, you got anything going on?
Not currently. Right now, I'm gonna do some research for our podcast tonight. I'm gonna go through. Well, actually, you just told me that I don't need to prepare anything. So no, I don't have anything going on.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
if I don't have to prepare anything, I don't have. I offered Mike an olive branch to see if he wanted me to help him with his YouTube channel, but other than that, no.
Right on. Yeah, give Mike a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey guys, real quick before we do anything else, I just want to show Gerald stuff again. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, man. And
Oh yeah, let's get him. Let's get him
yeah,
promoted. I'll drop
yeah,
a
I
comment.
want to show you the video I did today for Gerald's coil. So let me pull that up. There it is. At one of Gerald's coils. Now this is one of his smaller coils, but it's very important for a reason. It's doing something that not every coil does. It's going to jump to one level, and then it's going to jump to the next level without losing the amount it gained at the first level. Before I go any further, this is Gerald's channel. The link will be in the description.
Hey everybody, I'm going to try and make this quick. What we have here is two modified Jewel Thieves, both being using this 12-volt battery, which, as you can see, is fairly dead. We have a function generator pulsing at 1,000 hertz, 10% duty cycle, square wave. Both channels are going to pulse at the exact same pulse rate. And the first channel is going into the primary, and the second channel is going into the secondary. And what we're going to attempt is to see if we can raise this coil not once, but twice. Now, when you send a signal against or at each other, usually it cancels out. So let's see. The primary is turning on in 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to turn the secondary on in 3, 2, 1. As you can see,
So cool.
the signal didn't.
Oh, he's going to invent a way to play horseshoes with this thing.
That was just amazing. I don't ever usually see this when we're talking about a coil. So what's making this special? A couple key things to pick up on here. He said there's 2 windings on this. Normally when we look at a coil like this, we just think it's one winding all the way around in one direction, and then you just take some zip ties and put it around there and hold it, right? But he said there's 2, so we're going to have to investigate that. The second thing that makes this thing so special is that it can jump in one field, hold it, and then jump again without breaking the first field. That's special. This right here is this actual small coil is using. As you can see, I drew on it. What I'm drawing there is the lines for each coil. Notice they're not circular and they're not one on top of the other. They're woven. So that's going to make a difference. I'm going to go ahead and show a video where he shows some coils. I don't see this exact coil in there, but he has one that's like it. It's the second one that he shows.
Hey everybody. Sorry I haven't been around to do any videos lately. I've been pretty busy. Wanted to show you on some of the things I've been working on. I've got 4 coils here that I'd like to not demonstrate, but show you what they are. This one here was named by a friend. You know who you are. This is called the bird's nest, because that's what it reminded him of. Well, bird's nest with a big hole in it anyway. And this here, my son named, this is called the gate.
Sorry, I'm going to pause it right there. I want you to take a look at the way this coil is wound. Now, we know that it's woven. We discovered that a little earlier. However, how it's woven is important. One coil woven on top of one coil, on top of one coil, on top of one coil. What does that mean? Each layer he puts down is one coil. And then it looks like he takes a completely another layer and puts it on for the second coil. And he keeps building like that. It does not look necessarily like it's 2 coils just in a woven pattern. They have to be intertwined. That's going to make this coil a lot different than most, and it's going to react differently. That's why we saw earlier when it jumps once, then it jumps again.
You can see why he called it that. This one I called the UFO. And as you can see, it's a nice, neat little pattern. And there's the side view. That's why I called it the UFO. All right. And this one I'm not sure what to call. It's got a nice pattern to it. It's thick. It's got some weight to it. And it lights a 150 watt LED grow light, an LED beam. I'd have to say to 100% brightness or better. I'll do a demonstration shortly on it. I just wanted to kind of show you where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm building something a little bigger, and this was just sort of what I've been working on lately. I'll be doing a demonstration of the coil on the right over here shortly, but what you see here is part of a bigger project. Stay tuned, everybody. Have a great day.
Now that we've seen what the coil is, let's go ahead and take a look at why we would want this. This right here is a coil wire over a neodymium magnet with a spacer in between. Guys, what I'm trying to show you here is this is a single jump. We saw Gerald's coil do a double jump. What is the greatest thing that you want in anti-gravity? It's the double jump. Now, why do we want a double jump? That's kind of important when we look at it here. If you can create the double jump or get it where it has a pillow under it, and I say pillow when I say that I mean magnetic field. If you can get that little bit of magnetic field under it and then get it to jump from that, then you've got something. Why? Because then you have that base, that magnetic field base underneath it, and you can jump it. The greatest thing in here is to jump it twice. You want it in the air, and you want it jumped, and then you want the coil to jump it again. A jump on top of a moving magnetic field. That's anti-gravity. That right there is going to get you up in the sky and levitating. All you have to do is continuously hit it again, and again. It's
Real
a
quick.
pulse rate. You just have to know when to put it in. We all seen this in amazement when we look at this particular event right here or this video, but it's missing that double jump. He never gets it to achieve it. We have a smaller coil that's achieving it. Let's look more into it. What?
So
All right, real quick demonstration.
that double jump,
Stick from my squeegee.
so that second
You'll see
jump,
why
is
in a
that
moment.
signifying that it's actually pushing off of
Nothing on
gravity
the
itself?
secondary, just strictly pulsing the
Hey,
primary.
give me a second. So what the double jump is, understand this. You're putting a field around your craft.
Mhm.
But a Tesla coil field inherently is like a magnetic field. Apparently, you're going to jump it once, or I shouldn't say apparently, but you're going to jump it once off the ground, right?
Right, where the
And-
initial magnetic field is produced, right?
Then you're going to have your own magnetic field to bounce it off of.
Oh,
It's like bouncing inside of your own little bounce house or whatever you
right.
want to
I
call
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So you're creating your own little bounce there in that little cavity or whatever, and then that's what's creating the anti-gravitic. Okay,
Now that's just one form of gravity. Okay,
one
It's
form.
not-
Okay,
There's several. Gerald says there's 4. I've seen 3. Okay, we'll have to
Yeah,
figure
I've
out
heard
which one I'm missing.
right. We've had a gentleman on Free Energy Fridays talking about various forms of microgravity and stuff like that. So yeah, this probably goes beyond the scope of just one modality of mechanism. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one way to do it, and we'll all find out soon, won't we?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'm excited about the Gravifyer, especially. Like I said, I was considering I'm highly considering making it the topic for season 2 of Divine Science. Season 1 mainly was about the thunderstorm generator. And I've said everything I wanted to on that topic, and now I'm ready to move on to something else.
Cool. Let me hit play.
We're gonna see if we can make it go a little higher. Turning it on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's adjust this. It's got like a pivotal point there, right? Now watch this in 3, 2, 1.
So cool.
Interesting. You see that again? In 3, 2, 1. Have a great day.
And there it is. The goal of everybody who's looking into anti-gravity. You create the first jump, the second jump from there. The second jump is repulsed off of the magnetic field from the first jump. But by the way, Ben, if you don't understand that there's a field that replaces those neodymium magnets, then you're just going to sit here and argue the fact of the magnet. That's
so could we touch on that just a little bit and elaborate? So you said there's a Tesla field that's replacing the magnetic field.
So the Tesla field holds in all this energy, right? As you flip that field on the inside, it becomes magnetic. So you're surrounded by a magnetic field.
So as you flip it, it's polarized.
Yeah, it's already a magnetic field there. So the magnet's useless. Like the magnet, it's only good for the first jump. After that, it becomes useless because you already have things in place to replace it.
So it's like a kickstart.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But in what we're doing is we're just using the earth as the same thing. But this is just to get your mind to understand something differently. You know what I mean? If you still want the magnetic field, it's there. And you can still push off it. I always give the analogy. Take a balloon, put it on your desk, and push down on it. Let go and let it jump. That's what I mean. It's always going to be there with you. It's going to follow. So when you
it's the elasticity of the interaction between the ether. You said you're actually creating the ether inside that bubble.
Yeah, that's it.
Essentially, counter space, and that's decreasing the space around it.
Yeah, so when you want to jump, just understand this. Whatever craft you have, that becomes the table. It becomes what you bounce off of, okay? Because it's the bubble moving. You know what I'm saying? Your craft's going up as the bubble moves down, and then it readjusts and you go up. You know what I mean? It's like going up a flight of stairs in a circle. That's all it is. And that's just one form. The other form is just straight lock it and lift it. You know what I mean? And there's different ways of achieving that. So, and then you get into tunneling, and that's more of Victor Schauberger's stuff is tunneling. So is
that like quantum tunneling, or is that something different?
It's more like a wormhole.
Right.
You're creating space to pull you in, to put you further somewhere else in no time at all. You think that nothing's going on around you, but everything's going on around you. It's like being in warp speed. So
time is negated inside that little bubble you're in.
I think in the end, we're going to have all of them in one. To be honest with you, I think we're going to find individual parts and then bring them all together as one, because we're going to need to be able to travel through the wormhole to get somewhere.
Right. Yeah, like this, the initial anti-gravitic propulsion that we're seeing with the Gravifyer might be good for, like, flying around the Earth and stuff, but to actually get to between solar system and solar system, we're going to need something a little bit more efficient, like tunneling, like you said.
I'll tell you this, the Gravifyer is more of a field generator than it is lift. I think it gets lift, but I don't think
it's a field propulsion.
Yeah. It's more
so that's basically a UFO. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. Like I said, it's field. So it's making the field on the outside with the Tesla coil. It's making the field on the inside, right? So more of a field generator. So the one Gerald's working on is more of a propulsion system that moves. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Then Schauberger creates the wormhole, which you pull in, and then
it sucks you to it.
There you go. So
yeah,
that's what I mean. They're all going to be in there. Those are the three I know of. It might be a fourth, but you know what I mean? And I don't know. There's more to it, and I'll just wait on that. But it's with the field it's creating, it would be different inside the field than outside the field. So you're going to get a lot of time dilation, things like that, which is
Right.
perfectly good because Einstein already said it's there.
Right. It's possible, time isn't a constant. It's malleable. It can be changed depending on what medium it's going through.
Yeah. So whether it could be reversed or not, I don't know, but it can
And
be slowed. It could be
and
slowed
since
down.
and since Tesla described light as nothing more than sound waves in the ether, or analogous to sound waves in the ether, propagations in the ether. So the fact that we can change the speed of that propagation makes sense.
Yep. I have no problem doing it. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to show some of Gerald's stuff. You guys could go on and watch the video and stuff. But I wanted to make sure that we talked about Gerald's stuff on here because I want to see that coil built. You know what I mean? Even if he just gives us a grand show, I just want to see it.
Dude, he put out that video and that teaser of all the coils on his desk. And I was like, oh my God, it's Christmas early.
Yeah. Seriously. He's been at this a while.
Yeah.
He got some secrets going on there. We're going to have to discover them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got like a button under his desk in his workshop that opens up like a secret chamber to some of his like really good stuff.
Well, dude, his whole collection on the water car. Oh my God, dude, why didn't you bring that to the surface earlier? Like, he's got plans for this thing. He's got all the diagrams. He's got things. He's already worked on the water with it. He's playing tricks on his wife with it, for God's sake. And here
we're gonna find the Gerald cave and we're gonna raid some of your inventions.
Here we are knowing nothing about it except for a couple videos, and here's this guy doing all this stuff. It's like, come on, Gerald, you could have shared earlier.
When I built the rodent coil, I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I get on Free Energy Fridays to see his coil, and I'm like, holy crap! Like I almost dropped what I was holding. It was so impressive. Like he was just putting stuff on this, and it just wouldn't affect the input power. I'm just wow. Like I was like, this is really cool. He's got something here. I knew immediately he had something there.
Yeah. Dude, I think when he lights that thing up in a room, if we put it in a really small room, I think honestly, we're gonna have some weird stuff going on. Okay. We're gonna have to have video cameras outside the door, some plexiglass, you know what I mean?
What was that story he told? He said he did one of his experiments and something he was invisible or something, or his family couldn't see him.
He said his daughter couldn't find him. She opened the door, looked in there, he wasn't in there. Okay. But him and a couple buddies were in there, and it wasn't like they were hiding, they were standing next to the coil. So I want to verify that. I want to build a booth and be inside the booth, make it airtight so we can get all the, you know what I mean? All the high voltage in there, and let's find out. See if the old man could disappear. That'd be cool.
We're gonna end up in like 50 years from now. We're gonna end up we're gonna travel to the future.
Be like going into the Jumanji game. We start playing a game, we get in there. Oh, dude, I want to see it. If that's possible, man, I'm time traveling forever. I'm going everywhere I can. So I don't know. I guess I just don't want to sit here in my garage. I want to do some stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. You want to do some stuff and go some places, have some experiences. That's what life is about, right? Having experiences.
Well, things that are worth it.
Exactly.
I have no fascination of hanging off a cliff. I don't want to fall out of the sky, but if I control it, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm not somebody who wants to die with the most toys. I just want to die with the most experiences.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Ben, it's almost 4 hours, man. We got to get ready for the live show later today. I just wanted to get it on here and talk about my Gravifyer a little bit and some other stuff. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Anything you got, Ben?
No, I'm going to get ready for the live stream myself. The podcast is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if you're on the Pacific Coast, it's at 3.
All right, guys. Thank you all for showing up today. Totally awesome. Everybody that wasn't in sync for the show or something, we'll try to work on that and get everything right so we can start at the beginning. But it kind of worked out, I think, when everybody came in today because we had a problem in the beginning with somebody, which I got to talk to you about or figure out what you sent me and straighten that out. So
yeah, I'll talk to you in an email about that.
So cool. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you 3:00 my time. So that's what I got 4 hours, so 3.5. 3.5
Yeah,
hours.
3.5 hours.
Yeah. See you guys in just a little bit, man. Have fun for a while.
Bye. Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks, man.
I might actually stay on and watch